was on a Sunday afternoon around 2 or 3 o'clock, broad daylight. So honestly, the last thing I expected would happen. Traveling on the interstate, I was with my husband and my 2 kids, and I was pregnant at the time, so I feel like that just really added to how traumatic the entire event was.
Ariana Donley came face to face with the heart-pounding, adrenaline-inducing dilemma.
I saw the deer on the interstate. It was near the median. I was driving about 70 miles per hour in the right lane, and there was a large RV right behind me, and it was almost tailgating me, I would say. And then to my left, there was another vehicle. So when I saw the deer, I didn't feel comfortable slamming on the brakes or moving over to the other lane.
Ariana says she hoped she'd get past the deer before it moved, but that didn't happen. And she did the only thing she could that kept her family and other motorists uninjured. She hit the deer.
Hit it at exactly 70 miles an hour from what I can remember. And honestly, visually, it was pretty disturbing, but physically, it didn't feel as bad as I thought it would. It felt like maybe hitting a small pothole too fast or going over a speed bump a little bit too quickly.
How Ariana handled it, that's exactly the way we should all do it, according to one auto body repair expert.
A lot of people get killed and hurt worse when you go off the road and hit red clay and then you hit a tree. That's a lot worse than hitting a deer.
If anyone should know, it's Trooper Teipel. He has 4 decades in the auto body business, and every year at this time, he watches history repeat itself as deer collisions skyrocket.
Sometimes it can be 80% of what we're doing. We had a Lexus a couple, 3 weeks ago that did $20,000 worth of damage to the front end alone.
So why is it this time of year that we tend to see more deer coming off of wooded areas and onto highways? Well, there's a couple of reasons, but it's all about biology.
The peak will probably pass north of Macon, but just south of Macon, like I said, when you get down to Houston County, Bleckley, Twiggs County, some of those areas, peak breeding will actually be potentially that first week of December sometimes.
But even when they're not motivated by mating, another natural element drives deer to stay on the move and on the road.
Earlier in the year when the does are having their fawns, they typically don't bring them out near as much. But when you get to the fall time of the season, a lot of times they're looking for food also.
So what can you do to avoid colliding with a deer? First, you need to assume they're close to you this time of year.
You get into November in Georgia, dawn and dusk, you just need to kind of just, be wary. Just don't look at the vehicles in front of you. You might just want to scan, to the right and left and look at your shoulder ways also up to the wood line. And if you're out at night and there's no one that you can blind, maybe you drive with your brights on, just so that gives you a little more visibility along the roadside edges.
Especially in the dusk and dawn hours of the day, pay attention. If you see one deer, generally I would say there's another deer. If one crosses in front of you, there's going to be another deer right behind it.
And should you hit a deer,
determine if you're going to be drivable. Call the sheriff or the police, and so you can get you an accident report. And then at that time, I would call the body shop that you use and the shop of your choice. If you don't have a shop, check with your friends and get references from your friends about a shop that you can trust to do the work for you.
On the farm, I'm Greg Loyd.